What is going on, wrestling fans? It's WWE at Home 219 here with my friend Aaron, here to review Extreme Rules 2013. So let's get right into it. We did not watch the pre-show because, honestly, I don't know about you, but The Miz versus Cody Rhodes is not really intriguing to me.
No, it didn't intrigue me very much, so I didn't really watch it. I really don't care who wins.
But The Miz did win,
yeah.
So we can't give a grade there, but it was probably a shitty matchup because The Miz. So we would see Chris Jericho take on Fandango. It was a decent matchup. It actually had a good pace going into it, but there was some, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I noticed some botches from Fandango. He just didn't look as smooth as I thought he has been in like as a WrestleMania match, and like I said, I've seen him on NXT. I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of this, but Chris Jericho, the ending was very cool as he got a mid-air code breaker. I'll give the matchup a C.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Jericho just was a little too technical for Fandango in this match. You know, he's new, and Jericho's so experienced and everything. I feel like there were botches, and I feel like they were Fandango's fault if you take a look at it a little closely. But it was an interesting match. Didn't expect Jericho to win.
No.
I actually expected to go with the younger guy to keep pushing him, but hopefully, I guess this might end the feud or something. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, I think Jericho's going off on another tour.
Yeah, I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C.
And that was, by the way, the only loss I had in my predictions. So then we would see Kofi Kingston take on Dean Ambrose for the United States Championship. Going into it, I had high expectation because Dean Ambrose is a great wrestler, and Kofi Kingston is one of the most athletic guys in the WWE. And Dean Ambrose would pick up the victory, though, with his finishing maneuver. It was a pretty solid matchup. There was one botch. I think it might have been Ambrose's fault when Kofi was trying to go top rope and do like a flying move. A little better than Chris Jericho and Fandango. Shield member is the champion now, so Dean Ambrose picks up the United States Championship. I'll give it a C+.
Yeah, very glad that Ambrose won. I love the Shield group. I love what they've been doing with them, and you know it was an interesting match. These two have never been in the ring together, so I expected maybe there'd be a little, you know,
little ring rust.
Yeah, a little bit. Like the match. I like that Ambrose won. I'll give it a C+. I think it was a little better than a Jericho match.
Alright, so the next one we got here was a strap match between Sheamus and Mark Henry. Like, I saw some tweets on my Twitter feed. One of the most slowest paced matches of all time. There was no really excitement to this matchup. A bro catch would win it in a strap match. I wasn't feeling it. I don't know about you, but I'm going to give it a D-.
Yeah, I was not a fan of this one either. I didn't expect anything different. Like, I wasn't expecting anything good. I really don't. I find it really interesting. I feel like Sheamus is depleted ever since losing that title belt, and now he's doing strap matches with Mark Henry. I mean, that kind of sucks. But yeah, very slow. I mean, it's just I was not a fan of. I'm not typically a fan of slow matches. I am not a big fan of Mark Henry either, just because you're expected to be a pretty slow match with his old big ass in the ring. But yeah, I would say worst match of the night. I'd give it probably a D+.
Alright, so the next matchup we got here is Alberto Del Rio taking on Jack Swagger in a #1 contendership match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Alberto Del Rio would win. At first we thought Jack Swagger won, but apparently WWE has instant replay now. Yeah. And they would see Zeb Coulter through the towel into the ring. And Alberto Del Rio would bounce back, get that cross arm breaker in on Jack Swagger. It was an alright matchup. I'm just tired of seeing Del Rio Swagger matches, and Dolph Ziggler included in this feud. Give Dolph a new opponent. And now, as you see in the next matchup that I reviewed, there is somebody else that I would like to feud with Dolph Ziggler. I'll tell you that, and that when I review that matchup. But I feel like this feud with these three is just getting old. This matchup was alright. It wasn't bad. I'll give it a C+.
Yeah, I feel like WWE had to scramble a little bit. They obviously didn't expect Dolph to get hurt. You know, Dolph brings in attention. He's arguably the best in the ring. I mean, you can argue with someone or others, but he's phenomenal in the ring. And it was a match in general. You know, I'm not a fan of Jack Swagger whatsoever. I don't know why they keep giving him this huge push.
It might be over now, though.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's over now. It was not too bad. I'm glad that the match didn't end on that Zeb Coulter towel. I mean, would have just thrown gas into the fire. It was just not a fan, but you know, it wasn't a bad match. It was all right, but yeah, I'll give it about a C+. Nothing too special.
All right, so then the next matchup here is for the tag team championships. we would see the Shield's members Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins try to take the straps from Team Hell No, and that's exactly what they did. Before this matchup, though, I did point out to everybody that we were watching with Daniel Bryan didn't have the no on it written on his kick pads, and he wasn't chanting at all during this matchup, doing that no crap. And I felt like that was a sign that they were going to lose, and that they did. How did they lose this matchup? Was there a spear that one?
You had Reigns had Daniel Bryan on his back,
yeah.
and then Rollins did the
Yeah,
flying knee
that
off
was
the top
pretty
rope.
creative there. But like I said, now this is the guy that I want to challenge. Now that Daniel Bryan and Kane lost, I hope Daniel Bryan goes off and feuds with Dolph Ziggler. Those two put on epic matches. But this matchup was pretty good in my opinion. You can't go wrong when the Shield's in the ring and Kane's a veteran and Daniel Bryan's easily the best technical wrestler we have in WWE today. I'll give it a B minus as we see the Shield walk away with all gold around their waist, which is awesome.
Yeah, like Kyle alluded to just a minute ago, the fact that Daniel Bryan was kind of getting rid of the whole no gimmick kind of showed a sign that these two are going to split up, which I think is about time. I think it's about time these two split up. You know, Daniel Bryan is so talented in the ring. I think he deserves his own individual aspect. Seeing as we're really stretching for some world heavyweight opponents for Dolph Ziggler, but it wasn't a bad match. I liked a lot of the things that the Shield did, and especially that ending thing was really cool. I'll give it a B minus too. It's a pretty good match.
All right, so then we'd see the hometown boy Randy Orton take on the Big Show. It was an okay matchup because it's kind of hard to have a great matchup with the Big Show since he's so huge. If you're a guy like Randy Orton matching up against a guy that size, it's hard to put on a great show. But they did average matchup between the two, as we've seen this matchup before in the past. You would see signs of a little heel Randy Orton as he would hit the punt on the Big Show. This would help him win over the Big Show. There were some decent spots in this matchup as we would see tables, ladders, chairs. I mean, at least in this Extreme Rules pay-per-view, you actually got that Extreme Rules aspect as we would see a lot of these matches would utilize the outside stuff and use what's underneath the ring. And this, Randy Orton would pick up the victory. I'll give it a C.
Yeah. Anytime I see Randy perform, I'm just like, please turn heel. But he just, I don't know. I'm hoping this is a sign that alludes.
How about that payback preview? That
payback promo. It's very interesting. I'm hoping for Randy Orton to turn, but
could see tomorrow.
Yeah, we could. But the match in general, you could see that Randy kind of had to carry Big Show throughout the match. Did a lot of things just because Big Show's old and he's so big. It's just so hard to for him to be heavily involved. But big Randy Orton fan, glad he won. I liked the uses of ladders and chairs and all that. Really surprised that Big Show kicked out of an RKO though. Yeah, it usually doesn't happen. I don't know what's going on there, but an interesting match. I'll give it a C plus just because it wasn't stale. I think they was bringing in stuff. It was interesting a little bit, so not too bad.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so these are the final two matchups, and in our opinion, like we said before this video started, this is pretty much the two matchups that carried this pay-per-view. Not taken away from the earlier matches, they were decent, average, and they weren't terrible. There was only like one terrible matchup in this pay-per-view, and that was the strap match. But let's get into the WWE Championship last man standing matchup. John Cena trying to defend his title against Ryback. Very explosive. You were seeing everything being used around here. And they were using all their moves, as we would see even John Cena go to power bombs. Ryback was throwing power bombs. This matchup would go into the stands, actually. We would see there was a spear into the barricade. Since these two aren't going to put up a technical wrestling match, because we know Ryback and John Cena don't have the greatest moves in the wrestling ring, but they utilized this Extreme Rules last man standing stipulation, and it was pretty awesome as we would see the end. Ryback would send John Cena through the entrance. I don't know how to describe it. There was a bunch of lights set up. I think they were probably LED lights, as we'd see sparks fly everywhere. And then after, John Cena would be laying on the steel mechanism, and Ryback was just knocked out cold. And the ref wouldn't even count to 10 here, as he would just call it a draw. And we'd see John Cena get put on a stretcher. And if you watch the post-show, John Cena turned down going to the hospital. He said he would be fine. So I think that basically was just used for the storyline, because I don't think he's severely hurt. Of course, that's going to hurt. If you saw what happened, that was a pretty awesome way to end this. And it makes sense because CM Punk's gone. You got to continue this feud, because who else are you going to throw into the feud with Cena? Matchup of the night. It was the match of the night. I'll give it an A-.
Yeah, was easily the best match of the night in my opinion. Like Kyle said earlier, when you have Ryback and John Cena in the ring, these are two guys who aren't technical wrestlers. They're brute force and strength, and this is what I've been waiting. This is a match I've been waiting for from John Cena and of Ryback. Just a match where they use everything, where there's no restrictions, to where they can just destroy stuff and use their strength. It was something I've been waiting for. It was my favorite John Cena match. Like it was really similar to when Brock Lesnar and John Cena had a match at SummerSlam. I like that. I like that
Actually, the Brock Lesnar and Cena was last year's Extreme Rules.
Was it?
Yeah. It was in Chicago.
There we go. Well, then there you go. See, John Cena really
I
rises.
think John Cena really performs at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, John Cena. And these are things I really like to see John Cena do more of. But phenomenal match. Is John Cena hurt? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. Could be a storyline. And then having the match come to a draw, I think was pretty predictable. Seeing as with CM Punk gone, at least until probably Payback pay-per-view in Chicago. You kind of have to continue this feud. You really don't have a choice. So, but yeah, best match of the night. I'll give it an A- as well. Good stuff.
So our main event would be Brock Lesnar facing Triple H round 3 at Extreme Rules in a steel cage matchup. The main event, I agree, making it the main event. Triple H would attack Brock Lesnar before this matchup even starts, so we wouldn't even see Triple H's entrance as he would attack him and Heyman. It was a pretty brutal matchup as we'd see a lot of Brock and Triple H getting thrown into the steel cage. They utilized the structure well. Paul Heyman was a huge factor in this matchup as we would see Brock Lesnar win with the F5. It was the second best matchup of the night. It was a pretty interesting matchup, and it makes sense, in my opinion, for it to have Brock Lesnar win and come out on top. A matchup, like I said, second best match of the night. I'll give it a B.
Mm-hmm. Second best match of the night by far, pretty easily. You saw Triple H come out early and start getting this thing started. With hopefully now this feud ends. I'm guessing that's what it is. Seeing as there's been 3 matches and hoping this feud ends. What I see from this match is where do these two go from here? Who does Brock feud with now, or where does Triple H go from here? We might not see Triple H for a long time now, maybe not even until SummerSlam. We might not make an appearance, but it was an interesting match. I love the fact that Triple H had the sledgehammer camouflage up there. That's just total Triple H, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, not surprised that Brock won, like Kyle said earlier. Brock is a younger guy who's going to be able to continue throughout the rest of the year, while Triple H is going to make his spots and appearances. So, good match. I'll actually give it a B+. The whole Brock getting injured thing I kind of wasn't a fan of throughout the match.
You could tell it was fake.
Yeah, you could tell he wasn't hurt. I really didn't understand the point if you had the intent of him winning. Why not just, the injury I don't think was much needed, but, action, chairs, sledgehammer, Paul Heyman, just all kinds of things being used. So yeah, I'll give it a B+. Not a bad match.
Extreme Rules overall, in my opinion, was better than WrestleMania 29. It's kind of what we needed because we had to bounce back from WrestleMania 29. And without CM Punk, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It did the job, and it's going to continue some feuds, and hopefully some are over with. Like I said, you're going to probably continue this WWE Championship feud. Maybe we'll see a Randy Orton heel turn upcoming, and what's the status on Dolph Ziggler's concussion. Overall, Extreme Rules, I'll give a C+.
Yeah, better than WrestleMania, definitely. I agree. I think WrestleMania did not reach the standard it usually is supposed to reach every year. This pay-per-view did a very good job without you. You don't have CM Punk. You don't have your World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler, 2 guys who are very popular.
And you don't even have an Intercontinental Championship matchup.
You don't even have
Wade Barrett's on your post show. What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with that. But yeah, it was a good rebound from what we were used to. The last 2 matches were good. Now it's just where do you go from here, I think. It's really important you have hopefully feuds ending and hopefully new things to come with hints of Daniel Bryan leaving and Randy Orton turning heel. So, we'll see. I'll give it a B-. It wasn't bad. You saw the Shield get belts, which I really do like.
Positive.
I think that is what I'm going to take from this match the most, is that the Shield is on. Well, they were on the map, but now they are on the title map, and very interesting to see. So hopefully Payback is where we see the return of CM Punk.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But that might come up in another video from now. So that is our Extreme Rules 2013 review. Tell us what you thought about Extreme Rules down below in the comments section. Like and subscribe to my channel. We'll be coming out with a Raw review tomorrow probably. I'm assuming I'll be watching Raw with him as we usually do. So stay tuned for that. Follow us on Twitter down below. And take it easy, guys.